Hi, how are we doing? I'm doing great because today we're talking about everything I watched in the month of May. And it's actually quite a lot, so let's just get through it. Of course, like always, I'll first be talking about the seasons I watched this month and everything I'm currently watching and the movies watched. There's always is a smaller section, but timestamps to the different sections are in the description. So let's begin with the shows watched this month. Starting off with White season 3, which I give 4 stars to. It's kind of weird to talk about this because I started off the month with only, I feel like, 3 episodes to watch of White, so it doesn't really feel like something that I watched this month. But I did do a whole like deep dive, it's not really a deep dive, like a whole dive into everything White on my second channel. In case you want to check that out, I'll have it linked in the eye above. But the second season was great. I liked it more than the first one. I thought it was a lot of fun. Did a great job expanding upon kind of like the lore of this world, of these characters, deepening some of the bonds between them as well, while also just keeping the very fun case by case episode format that I really like about it. So I don't know, I'm having a blast with it. Then we also have Marvel's Luke Cage season 2, which I give 4 stars to. And somebody pinch me because why am I enjoying all of these Marvel Defender show all of a sudden? If you don't know, I think I started watching them like 2 years ago now. No, a year ago. I don't remember. I started watching them in the lead up to Daredevil Born Again season 1, but I miserably failed on like watching it in time, and I also wasn't really liking the show so much, so I kind of burned out on it, and then I decided to take a break, and that break ended up taking much longer than I predicted, and then I got started back on it last month, I believe, or 2 months ago, and I've been enjoying them. I don't know where that came from all of a sudden, but Luke Cage season 2, really liked it. I liked it more than the first season. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first season, but this one I liked a lot more. I feel like Luke's character journey was really interesting this season. I also love Mariah as a villain so much. Oh my god, that woman can act. And I don't know, I had a good time with like the plot in this season. I thought it was interesting. I just think, like always, that these shows like are stuck to a 13 episode format that is like too long for them, but for the rest I did think I have a good time with this. Then I watched Bone season 1, which I gave 3 stars to. I find this one difficult to review because when it comes to like the character stuff, I adore this, but when it comes to like the case by case episode stuff, I don't like that. I feel like most of the mysteries just feel very dragged out and a bit boring, at least in the first season, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. Then we have Off Campus season 1, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars to. Welcome to our new obsession. This show has been living rent free in my mind ever since I watched it. I feel like this is my heated rivalry, which sounds weird because like the shows are very different, but I feel like the heated rivalry brain rot a lot of people had, I'm having one Off Campus. Like it's living rent free in my mind, and I'm physically having to hold myself back from rewatching it over and over and over again. But I thought this was great, which was so surprising to me because I thought the books were fine, and I just checked out the show because I was curious and I wasn't expecting to love it. I was like, again, thinking it would probably just be fine, but I became very quickly addicted to this. And I don't know, I don't think it's necessarily like a masterpiece, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it is, but it is like a really fun show. Then I have Strike season 1, which I gave 3 stars to. This is a new Flemish like comedy show, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this. But I think the main issue with the show is that it's just too little episodes and trying to do too much. It has like a very big ensemble, and I feel like it doesn't do enough with it because I don't have enough time to do it. I think it's 8 episodes, so not a whole lot, and like all of the episodes are only 20 minutes long, so again, not a whole lot. I feel like therefore it just never really never really manages to like really connect. But I just think it's funny in parts. I do think the characters are interesting, but I just feel like I didn't have enough time to do anything with it. Then we have Café de Mol season 8. This is just a talkback show to the mall, and it finished, so I had to log it, but like I don't have anything to say about it. I do like it because I do feel like the mall is a show that like has utility with a talkback show, but it's not like something that I'm like rooting to watch, you know. We have Celebrity MasterChef Vlaanderen season 4. I thought it was a fine season. I really liked the cast this season, and I really had my peeps that I was rooting for, which were sometimes people that I wasn't expecting when the casting first got announced, right? But it was a fun season. I just think that with like the different assignments, let's say like the different tasks that they have to do each episode, I feel like we got very gimmicky this season, and I feel like it leaned in a little bit too much into the gimmicks. Then we have The Mole season 14, my favorite show of all time, in case you didn't know. Well, we'll talk about favorite show of all time in a minute. This is really close, and I really loved this season. I thought it was great. I didn't guess them all at all. I this season didn't even have like a guess because I find it so difficult, and I know some people thought it was like too easy, but then there was also a lot of people in the same boat as me who thought we were like no idea all season. So I don't know where that's coming from, but I did think it was a really fun season. I really liked the setting. I do think that for a couple of visual things, AI was used, which I think is a shame because the mall oftentimes gets praised on like its beautiful visuals and its effort it puts into like its art and stuff. So the fact that it used AI in a couple of points was annoying to me, but For the rest, I thought it was a stellar season. Then we have Marvel's Iron Fist season 2, which I give 2 stars to. And here's where my panic stops. Because I all of a sudden realized, okay, maybe I'm not in a delusional state. I still don't really, still have the ability to dislike the Defenders universe. Iron Fist, I do have to say, again, like just more than the first season, but I just think Solar Rises definitely was more interesting than the first season, but I just think this has the issue that it has no likable characters except Colleen. Colleen is the GOAT. I love her so much. But all the other characters are insufferable. I do not like them. I do not care about them. So that makes the show really hard to watch. And I feel like Netflix knew that because they did reduce this to 10 episodes instead of the usual 13. But I do think still again within those 10, it did feel a little bit dragged out at times. Then we have Sezagedot season 6. Fine season. It would have been better if it wasn't for like the whole... Sezagedot is a show kind of going into things people say, like sayings, and then testing if that's real or not. And they did one this season that's like people say that AI partners can replace real partners. And the way that was dealt with gave me such an ick. Like such an ick. Like it felt very predatory in a way. And I hated it a lot. But like the rest was fine. Then we have Brieven on Samson season 8. This honestly was a bit surprising. I didn't know what to expect from the show. But I thought it was like a great mix of like typical human interest while also adding in like some nostalgia and just realness a little bit as well. And I really liked it. And then I watched Modern Family season 1, which is a rewatch, and I give it 5 stars too. This is when we get to the point of my favorite show of all time, because Modern Family I also would call my favorite show of all time. It's a toss-up. I have been craving a Modern Family rewatch for so long. But I'm also like, hey, you have a lot of things you're currently watching. Get that shit under control. And then we can talk maybe Modern Family. And recently, my algorithm on TikTok has been pushing so much Modern Family content that I caved. And also, to be fair, I'm currently watching, there's only one show that I am actively in control of, like when I'm watching it, because other shows I'm watching with my mom are all on a weekly release schedule. So there's only one show I'm actually actively, in charge of, let's say. So I feel like that's a fair trade-off. So I immediately watched season 1 in like a couple of days. Love it. I feel like the first season is so strong. I feel like it does such a great job establishing all of these characters, establishing all of their different dynamics. There's a lot of them, so that's a lot to do. And then also already showcasing growth within these characters. Also still being like very funny, entertaining sitcom. And I think it's brilliant. And I will take no notes. Then we have Absolute Campione season 13, which is another rewatch that I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. Fun time watching reruns of this. I'm having a good time. I think we are like on a precipice of like greatness. Which I know is unpopular. I feel like most people by this time would say like the golden years are already done. But I'm saying the golden years are ahead of us, and I'm very excited for it. And then lastly, for the seasons that I watched this month, we have The Floor season 3. I can't explain this because it's the most simple game show in the existence of game shows, but I'm addicted. I love it, and I thought the season was great. They added some new elements to it that definitely added a little bit of interest in it. Then we are obviously going into my currently watching, starting off with Marvel's Daredevil season 3. Still making my way to the Defenders universe. This is the last season of Daredevil, at least before Daredevil Born Again. I'm like in the final stretch, and that is stressing me out. I've seen 3 episodes of this. I think they're doing some interesting stuff, but feel like the plot needs to get starting to move a bit. Then we have Florentina season 8. I'm done with this. We have like a month left of episodes, but I generally feel like we're in the final stretch, and I'm good. We can wrap things up. Then we have Bone season 2. I've only again seen 3 episodes. I watched this with my mom, but we've been prioritizing other things this month, so I haven't really seen much of Bones. But I don't know. I'm liking this a little bit more. Some different dynamics are being introduced within the group of characters, and I'm very intrigued by that. But like overall, it's still like very much on like the same feelings as season 1. Then I have Eenmaal Andermaal season 4. This is just a really fun show that I really like watching, and it's a surprising season. I feel like things aren't moving the way I was expecting things to move, so that's interesting. Then we have Taskmaster series 21. Great season. I'm having such a blast with this, and I already like hate that it's almost over, but it's a really good time. It's really good contestants this year. And like so level out funny. Oh my god. They have Dazzling Belavan season 8. I'm not crazy about this. I like the concept of this. I just think the execution is just lacking a little bit for me. Then we have Iedereen Zondert season 2. The Stoel is back, and that's the only reason I'm watching this, because I didn't watch this last year, but I love The Stoel so much. Like that was such a staple for like my childhood summers. So I'm very glad that that's back, and that's what I'm watching. But I actually did like all the different sections of it so far they've been doing. So there we go. And then lastly, we have Modern Family season 2, which is another rewatch. I will give you a little secret. The beginning of June has been very busy, so I'm filming this a little bit late, and I'm already on season 4 of Modern Family. I feel like that says a lot. Let's get into the movies that I watched this month. There's 3 things to talk about, and surprisingly 2 of them are actual movies. So let's get into things. Starting off with Meet the Parents, which got 2000, and I give 3 out of 5 stars to. I'm not gonna lie, the only reason I watched this is Ariana Grande, and I wasn't. When Ariana Grande got like back into acting, I got interested in Wicked because I was interested in Wicked, and it was not like I was just gonna blindly follow everything she does. But then I saw the trailer for Fucker-in-Law, and legitimately I think that looked really fun, so I wanted to brush up on the lore. And then I was scrolling through streaming services this month. The trailer got released a little bit while ago, but I was scrolling through my streaming services this month, and I was kind of looking for something to watch, and then I noticed that all of these movies are on the streaming service I have, and was just like, why the fuck not? And I watched Meet the Parents, and I actually had a good time with it. It was a 3 stars, nothing like special or spectacular, but I definitely didn't expect to have this much fun while watching it, so that's a thumbs up, and I'm hoping to continue on with the other movies. Then we have Catherine het IJsprinsesje, which comes 2006, which I give out of 5 stars to as a rewatch. As you might know, the Cat originals have officially ended. I went to the final show. I did a video on that in case you want to see. Because also why this one got pushed back so much. I apologize. But this is my favorite Cat movie, just like of all time, especially from the OGs, and I just thought it was like fun to like prepare for that by watching this movie again. Love it. It's iconic. I love every second of it. It's hilarious as well. So highly recommend. And then lastly, already for the month of May, we have Pommelien Thijs Afwasdoom, which comes in 26. This is just her show she did in the Afwasdoom. I think last month or the month before. Not that long ago. I'm not gonna lie, this was a great show, especially someone who loves Pommelien's music. Was a really well put together show, a really well thought out, but I feel like I'd seen so much hype from people who went to the shows, saying it was like the best thing ever, and I just felt a little bit underwhelmed by that. And that's nothing to do with actually anything Pommelien did, it's more so the expectations people put on the show for me. That's everything that I watched in the month of May. I will already tell you, we are like a week into June. I already have like 4 shows and 4 movies logged. So good times, and I'm flying through Modern Family, so God knows I will have a shitload to talk about in June. So hopefully you'll be around for that. And yeah, let me know in the comments everything that you watched in the month of May, and then hopefully I will see you around next time. Goodbye.